and then also with Donald Trump, that was really completely screwed everything up. But, yeah, that's the way it is. But we survived. Hey, look who's there! I saw you on Facebook. Yeah.
That's seems like a deal or something.
How you been, buddy? How's school? You okay? How about the cold weather? How's your place? Is it warm enough? It is? Well, some people don't have heat, some people have problems with their water systems. It's been a bad month.
Yep. hear you.
Hey,
Nice.
great as the weather, huh? Oh, yes.
Okay.
It's not fun though, out there. I know. Thank God we had nice warm cars.
Yes, I know, gosh, so grateful. I actually had that thought so many times last week, to be someone taking the bus in this, because it's not a big shuffle for buses, you know, it's, I'm grateful.
Oh, sweet. I didn't get you anything.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I don't know, I'm grateful that I.
Thank you so much.
So is the.
Let's open this up. Why, yes, it is.
You're kidding.
Popped right on out.
Okay, and musicians here.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Broke or something.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Is it broken or is it just me?
You're saying what? You're saying the land is now.
Testing 1, 2. All right. Getting ready for showtime.
Yeah.
Showtime.
Then we go grab a little service, and grab some books, and take a look, grab some water too. Okay. Okay. Now,
Mike,
hello, how you doing?
what are you doing?
Always better when you're here.
Sorry?
I said, always better when you're here.
Oh, you're so sweet. He's sweet. Was there anyone on the road from your house to here?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there were people, there was cars, there were, yeah.
You good, that's so big. It was cars?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sunday, pretty dead, right?
No, it's good.
How was your apartment? Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. So the past 2 or 3 years, it used to be nice and warm all the time. And the past 2 or 3 years, they made it just a little cooler. It's still not uncomfortable. It's just, you know, if I'm hanging around, I gotta put on something a little warmer than I used to. You know?
Get to put the heat on?
No, not at all. No, it's not nearly that. It's, you know, I mean, some people.
But you're used to having a lot of warmth.
See, some people, not me,
Yeah.
would have thought that the old temperature was too warm.
I would.
Okay, so I think that maybe now this is like comfortable for those people.
It's an overheated apartments my entire life is in a house.
Yeah.
Yeah, this apartment's notoriously hot.
Well, if you got, you know, if you got
You
good.
in a big building or a small building?
It's 100 units, 12 floors. It's a co-op, so, you know, so we all own it. If we got together and we told the management company, you know, they would, you know.
Is it old?
It's almost 100 years old. It was built in 1929 as luxury housing. And that building and a twin were both built at the same time, one on 3rd Street, one on 4th Street. Together, they take up the whole front of Avenue A. All right, so there's, it's the corner, you know, that's where it is. It's Avenue A. You know, our building is on 3rd Street, the sister building is on 4th Street. They built them at the same time. And like I say, it was built as luxury rentals in 1929. Then the stock market crashed and developed couldn't sell.
I don't, no, I don't think that she is. I think it's gonna be Charlotte and Robin
And
with the
yeah,
kids.
so then, you know, the building has this, you know, kind of colorful 100-year history, you know. You know, I tell you, I'm over living in Manhattan, you know. Rachel wants to, I love my wife more than I hate living in New York, so. But if, that's what I was about to say.
It's not so crazy. You know,
As long as I gotta live in New York, that's the neighborhood. So much history. You know, we still have 2 cemeteries.
Yes.
You know, and I'm old enough to remember when the Mercury Lounge, which is a nightclub,
Yeah.
Mercury Lounge sold gravestones. It was a gravestone company. Yeah, yeah, anyway, so you remember, you know, about the triangle, right? Okay, on the 100th anniversary, you know, I would wake up and go outside, and somebody had written in chalk all over the neighborhood, you know, Doris Smith lived here. She, and they wrote down the address, said she died in the Triangle Shipbuilders Fire. And then next door, and even addresses that don't exist anymore, he wrote the address where it would have been. You know, so it's a cool.
I had some, I was
Well,
a little bit ahead of people live where you are on the grounds.
Uh-huh.
But other than that,
Yeah.
what's the little city law, for instance, you know,
Right.
busyness.
Yeah. No, it's still, you know, maybe the one good neighborhood left. That and maybe Washington Heights, huh?
Oh, yeah, uptown is fine,
Yeah. All right. See you in a few.
but I never lived there. It's an hour, so
I'll go out this way, I'll come around that way, I'll do what I gotta do.
where did you go? Where did you go?
I grew up in Hollis, Queens. Where? Yeah. You don't like West Hampton? You live down by the park, right?
No, I live over by the stable. She's at,
Yeah, in the park, right?
this is the park I was thinking of, the other one, yes.
So you can walk to the park. It's a beautiful park.
Oh, it's a, I didn't.
We go there every day, right?
It's since I absolutely Johnson County, I've got this spot, I just lived in this. Because the lives in that street on
How long have you been in
That's
this?
what we told me that.
Oh, okay.
You can't complain about one place.
I know, it's very quiet, I know people.
No, I can't complain even about that.
I stay in the full of stray
I
cats.
don't go out.
Yeah.
Occasionally I live in a little fireplace.
Yeah, because they're so close.
Sounds nice. I am, but
I was looking for other things, that wasn't what was necessary. I needed a small house, I needed, I wanted I come from not far away, I lived in Lennox.
Oh,
26 years, and then I went to review
what part of it?
in the beaches, almost on the tracks.
Giving the choice to the next board meeting, you know what I mean? So I don't know who you can train to do that, not where for you. Well, let's see if the new people.
Yeah, he was one of the rich people, because when he bought that house, I think it was $86,000 at that time.
Yeah, she
And
has a lot of money.
that was a lot of money.
You don't
That
pay
was
to be
like,
in person, you know, it's like, that's a lot of money.
what most
You have to
people
figure out
think
where
are
she is,
houses.
because somebody needs to. Yes, so whoever does that. Give me those hints of how to do it. Last week's minutes and then.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
So it's not saying.
I know. Or 50, yeah, that's, well, you know, I thought it was like a little extravagant, but he moved from, he used to live in Hollis, and then he moved to Glendale, Illinois,
Don't worry about it.
Chicago area, and then he moved back to New York. I mean, he had two houses that he sold before, and he came back to New York, so he had the money. I know.
What's it worth this, by what you
And
know
now,
about?
yeah, but the nice thing about his neighborhood is, although he is, it's
changes to it for this, and then.
So his taxes are much,
I
much
copied it into my phone.
So, you know, the taxes, I mean, he is paying about $15,000.
And then it's on New York City.
It is a lot of New York City.
That house was a great gift.
That's why it's in Garden City.
Yeah. Art cities are actually good.
Do you have a question?
One of the cities in the city, it was a little bit.
Less than
Incorporated building tax, they charge.
Didn't get in,
But it is messed up. That's all, that's
It
good.
is. Yeah, I know.
Well, maybe, since it's popularized.
I don't keep down on the time. What did I do before?
I am. Good to meet you.
So we got our money's worth done this year. but we
Okay.
didn't get it right here.
So,
No, professional
So this is the final shoot.
tell me a little more about yourself.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
They're having such a great time of its life. Nothing's coming in.
I know, when you retire, then you really have to think about how you go month to month.
I'm on a very tight budget.
There are attempts
Yeah, I
to
know.
divide.
Well, I worked at,
Good, good.
4 years in New York City.
I know Robin,
11 o'clock, why don't you, before I start, why don't you choose this out?
And then retired from that.
well, she's thinking, Robin is bringing Anna Lee, so I'm gonna wait to start. I really like to start right on
You know, it's
time.
been a change
But since
of
nobody has arrived,
lifestyles and things that.
Well, it might be all we get.
I know Robin's getting Anna Lee.
All right, we'll give Robin and Natalie a couple more minutes.
Okay, thank you, appreciate it.
But I did run.
After that, you, okay.
Well, I know you're not cold.
All right, thank you.
Hey, look at you.
Look at you all nice and warm. Look at you.
I want to hug you, get cold.
We've been sick, we haven't been able to get here till today. That is so
Oh,
cold.
what happened?
But Bert said, we're going, we're going.
What did you
Yeah.
have, cold?
We had terrible cold. Just, no, not the flu, not anything.
Okay, just a regular cold.
Yeah, but I was on
Well,
antibiotics.
I'm glad you're finally better.
Yes, yes, I am too. We're gonna get,
Kind of interesting that we chose, I mean, you chose every night of the morning, right? No, because I saw the 17 and then I looked it up. You didn't put the 17 there, it was just some computer glitch. All right, so, you know what, then I don't feel obliged to.
How was
I
the
won't
weather?
fight all of them. I'm gonna do one more step. Blue letter home.
Testing, can you hear me now?
That's
Yeah,
nice,
all
that
right.
they have to put out.
Okay, so I guess we're, rock and rolling.
Do we need any books or handles?
Yeah, we do have one.
Yeah, do you mind putting them both out? Yeah. Okay, thank you, okay, so we'll close the blue home.
Well, thanks for coming here. How are you doing?
Yes, nice and warm in here. Hooray. Props for the people. who came
Everybody's
here.
gonna have it. Don't you worry, everybody got it.
All right.
We need, I think.
Blue home.
Yeah.
No, we're not gonna have that many people around.
Well, look at you, you're going to that.
Maybe
Close.
I mean, they get a order of service.
I have them.
You guys give an order of service?
It was so wonderful walking here, I'm gonna take off this one. Not that I'm any better good at this.
I feel like I'm in the last. No, it's not. It's still it's overlaid. Because we're doing late.
You know what? Yeah. Very simple.
Nobody else.
But, it's like, I know.
Just bake more goodies. I make the cake and then I make bread. Anything to use it. Just anything to
And if you don't like it, you take it down.
No, I know, it's just been.
Lisa, conscious, conscious of me, son, how it was, bandmates came to me and they asked me to come like that for hours. Play marriage and songs.
And the heat is happening there.
There's a rec room in the apartment building where she used to live.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Yeah.
It's enough to scare on.
Yeah.
I understand.
Exactly. But
One time, you know, it might be,
I was on 4th Street, now it's on 3rd Street. I am. Yes.
So that's where you work?
That's where I work. Cool. Howard Academy, New Jersey City. Yep.
And your commute?
Oh, man, it is getting expensive because the river has ice in it, so the ferries are all messed up, so I've been taking a lift almost, 6 times a week. That's 4. Yeah, it is ridiculous. The other 2 days a week I get to drive, but, for the 3 days.
Are there no icebreakers?
Icebreakers in the Hudson, they don't have it ready to go. Although I did do research, I found out there were 3 times in the history that the Hudson River froze completely, and people were walking back and forth between New Jersey and New York.
We're doing 8-1 again, and it's gonna be the bus train to get
On the bottom.
the guys, and 5 days, those crews on the
It's not that deep. It's
So
not
it's
that
cold,
deep.
it's just the Lord's going, it's a little cold,
But how many days has it been? 2.
and then the lamps.
So
They're gonna try to protect it. They always give you more than prospects.
No, that's probably.
So it's a little winter date, it's on my itinerary, it says that 8-1 users for the portion of the trip. 11. Now it's by and 2 days for 3 to 9.
There are no fish on the ice. Do not chop the ice. Yusuf is changed. He hears the voice.
What they are gonna
There are no fish under the ice. Do not chop the ice. No, the rink manager. Hey, did you hear my record?
Yeah.
You'll lose another pound. Wait.
There you go.
Stop it.
Actually,
Yeah.
did somebody tell
My daughter, my daughter. That's a whole lot for her. It's like, I don't wish that would be the best. This is just like, so she should come for it. Yeah. That's myself. I really.
he spends his entire time trying to, now all these, hey, what kind of station after me, they tell us everything. It's this terrible, desperate attempt to deny to himself what he is and what he can actualize. Well,
We're still young whippersnappers.
oh, that, wait a minute, slow down. I don't think that's a way to blow off steam, darling. I think that's a way to create steam. Yeah. And you know what it takes to do it when you're so incredibly willfully blind.
Well, you defined aging gracefully.
When are we gonna start? I don't know. Just leave it up there long enough for them to see it, you know? This is just, I just feel sorry for them.
Who's Ray Milston?
Well,
Yes, I keep seeing you.
it's, so here's the thing, okay, so there's a very human trait that people, hello, ready? We're gonna start now? Okay, good. Yep. You betcha, I've been hanging around waiting to start. All right, let's figure this out.
Good morning. Welcome to UUCCN, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Central Nassau. It is good to see you all here. My name is Sunny Brown, and I am on the Board of Trustees. Today's service will be led by Ray Milstead. Ray is a second-year Master of Divinity student at Union Theological Seminary
who is in the process of discernment around the path to ministry. Before coming to seminary, they received a Bachelor's of Science in Molecular Biology from Warren Wilson College in Shenandoah, North Carolina. Ray is a native Texan and a lover of birds, cooking, soccer, and spending time with their beloved girlfriend and pets. If you're new here, please know that this is a welcoming congregation, a special community that supports one another in our spiritual journey. We are people worshiping together from many paths who are brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers. We are here to help one another do the difficult work of seeking meaning, acting for justice, living with integrity, and walking with one another in peace and love. It is good to be together.
Hi there, y'all. Hi. I did not know I was going to get a full introduction, so I'm not going to do my own introduction here. But today I'd like to start our worship service with the words of my former congregation's senior minister and minister, Reverend Meg Barnes. We gather to worship, our hearts alive with hope that here we will truly be seen, that here we will be welcomed into the garden of this community, where the simple and the elegant, the fluted and the frilled, the shy and the dramatic complement one another and are treasured. May we know that here each contributes in a way to the beauty of the whole. Come, let us worship together, all genders, sexualities, politics, flappers and non-flappers, progressive or conservative. May we group ourselves in the values of the state: compassion and courage, transcendence, justice, and transformation. I heard our child setting, I showed the words of Jennifer Grayson. Thank you. We light this chalice, symbol of our purpose, to bring more love and justice into the world. We light this chalice, knowing our congregation as a church dispersed across communities, not bound by walls, but connected through the love of life.
Good morning. My name is Elizabeth Gonzalez, and I'm the Chair of the Worship Arts Committee here at UUCCN. Our land acknowledgement for today. We are here on the ancestral lands of America. We are here on Turtle Island to be caretakers, to gather in a good way, to be one with Earth's children in all their forms, those of the straight mountains and valleys, those of rivers, streams, and oceans and air, under the protection of Father Sky. Let this land acknowledgement guide us in our return to unity. Let us remember that we are relative to all beings, those who walk on four legs, those who fly close to Creator, those who swim in the ponds and in the seas and crawl upon Mother Earth. Let us honor all of the mountain people, the living green creatures that give us shade and food, the spirit energy in stones, boulders, and earth's crevices, and all of the created world. Let us live in harmony, practice kindness, and share our love for one another. Let love be the foundation for living the values of justice, equity, and interdependence. And now please rise in body or spirit for our opening song, number 354, We Laugh and Cry. come together to make the answers that we found. Back for announcements. Please join us following the service for Sweet Tooth. Sweet Tooth is what we call the conversation, fellowship, and sharing of food that follows Sunday service. If you would like to help with a future Sweet Tooth, there's a sign-up sheet in the kitchen or speak with Anita Cottington. The Valentine's Day card making party is today after service at Friends Hall. And the UUCCN Book Club will be meeting next on Thursday, February 26th at 8 p.m. on Zoom. We will be discussing One Day, Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This by Omar El-Akkad. Check the weekly update for the Zoom link. And that's it for us.
There's one more that didn't make its way into this upcoming thing. April 19th, Sunday. Doctors Without Borders benefit concert. Featuring the return of 4 old friends. Bob Mastro, Paul Gazzone, Mike Malfisi, and another guy, with a gourmet dinner by Anita Cottington. So come, eat, listen, have a great time, and help out Doctors Without Borders, okay? April 19th. Sunday.
Thank you.
Here, yes, here, 4 o'clock. Thank you.
Please join me in a responsive reading for our affirmation today about our shared Unitarian Universalist values. Love is at the heart of our values.
We promise to live our lives every day with love as the center of all things.
Equity is the value of our inclusive community.
We believe in the inherent worthiness of all.
Interdependence teaches us we are all connected.
We boldly remain whole when we live with coexistence.
Justice is essential for peace and building a beloved community.
We will work to dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and in our institutions.
Generosity expresses compassion, gratitude, and hope.
We will offer our faith, ourselves, and our resources.
Pluralism encourages respect for diverse beliefs.
And allows us to be curious as we learn from one another.
Transformation allows us to adapt to an ever-changing world.
We are evolving and growing. We are never perfect.
It's time for our offering of Thanksgiving. Thank you for your support of UUCCN. Your pledges, donations, and volunteering sustain our congregation as we are 100% dependent upon our members, friends, and guests. Please give today when the collection plate is passed around, or you can use a credit card on our website, UUCCN.org. One of our traditions is to share our Sunday plate. with another organization whose work aligns with our values and principles. Our shared plate recipient for February in support of the island of Haiti and the devastation of Hurricane Melissa last August. We are partnering with St. Michael Pauloise in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. They are raising funds for food, clothing, and sleeping bags, reaching those impacted by the hurricane. Please give as generously as you can. Thank you for all you do to support our congregation. We are truly grateful and truly blessed by the generosity of our community. UUCCN is a community of people who strive to be welcoming, caring, hospitable, and loving. We know that the spark of our joys can be amplified when we share them with people who are cheering us on, and the weight of the burden of our sorrows can be lightened when we share with those who have committed to our mutual well-being. Now is the time when you may share a joy or a sorrow that is on your heart this morning. Please raise your hand if you would like to share. Anita?
This Wednesday, my daughter is having a double knee replacement surgery. Also, I've been told my daughter Christine, in your thoughts and prayers, wishing her good lives. And also, the sick leave is not doing well. We have called sick leave in our hearts. He was in the hospital this week. He's going sick leave. Mary Ellen's husband. Oh, no. Right. And Chris. Phyllis's husband, Chris Ross, has been diagnosed with cancer. He's on treatment. He has tumor. So we have to say prayers for these folks.
Vicky?
Well, there's a lot of sadness going around right now, and we do a lot of prayers for so many people. It does seem like everything is happening all at once, doesn't it? Yeah. And very sad. But also your joys. And I have to say that I had a joy for my birthday last week. Never been better than here. And I was surrounded by most of my children, some of my grandchildren, not all of them. But I had two great grandchildren here. It was very special. So I'm very, very happy about that. And very joyous that I was able to make this big number that I am. I'm very happy to be here today. You know, it's been a long time since I've been back, and we've had colds and sickness and this weather has been very disruptive for all of us. But I'm so grateful to be here. Happy birthday. 39, you're always wrong.
Yeah, it is true to be together here today. I just wanted to say, just a quick, we're going to take some art supplies and make some apple knives and back after service. If you're not artistic, you don't have to. This is the main reason we're doing this as a fundraiser for the Starbucks Workers United Hardship Fund. If you'd like to donate, you don't have to do arts suppress if you don't want to, but just let me know and I'll give you the link. They've been on strike for a couple of months now, and we've been supporting in various ways, and this is the way that they asked us to support for this month. So I'm just really glad to be in a place where we do things like that. They're going to be having a meeting here tomorrow, and ask us to be here, the building. So if you'd like to help that out, there social justice actions, let me know. We're putting together people to eat at the Island Protest on Saturday, February 21st. We're going to try to get people along the entire length of the Sunrise Highway. I think so far, UUCCN contingent about 10 to 15 people, but that's going to Because we had a conversation last week about how we want to show up for our community, and we want to show that we're a part of the community, and that we stand up for our values, and we stand with us and love. So if you, there are a couple of other actions, and that one is this stuff, I don't have time, I'm gonna talk to me, and, can carry on. Anyone else to share? Maybe remember those who have spoken, those named, and those who hold silence in our hearts. And now we're already circulating. I want to thank Ray for mentioning our house, who pulled and her, I did not know that she passed away in the middle of January. Sorry, I'm going to say things that she said about peace. This is our tradition at UUCCN, like a little intentional peace service. Something that one of our said was, the world gives peace by removing or dominating challenges. God gives peace by accompanying us through those challenges.
For our prayer today, I share the words of the Lord. Spirit of life, help us to be present in all that is our life. Both our deepest sorrows and our greatest joys, so that we can truly live. We can truly live in our own life and in our community. Spirit of community, help us know how big we are. How would you want us? How would you treat our prayers, such as us all? Help us to ask for support when we are in need, and offer our support to others when we are able, so that we may rest in ourselves and one another. Spirit of love, help us love our neighbor as well as ourselves, so that we might fully acknowledge and love and resist evil. Spirit of resistance, help us to stick up for what is right, even when we are tired and weary. Help us to bring the world as it should be and act to bring the world about. Help us find the Lord each day. Spirit of hope, help us to this day and each day. Help us to be present for all that is our life. For all that, this we pray in Jesus' name.
So, we also sing this song. Okay? And the lyrics were, one has hands and terrors in now, two has hands and terrors in now. But if 250 make a billion, we'll see when that day comes around, okay? So, the bottom line is the song that stays the same. 250 make a billion, we'll see when that day comes around. By the way, that's why folks singers make mathematicians. Because 250 makes a billion. Okay, but it's no longer one man's hands, two man's hands. Just my hands, just your hands. Okay? So I'll sing just my hands, and then by the time we get to your hands, you'll know what it is, and we'll all sing with it. Okay? With me? Just my hands, just my
the ever-increasing presence of ICE in our communities, people empowered not being held accountable for heinous acts of harm that we are just now reading this week. The weight of the world seemingly getting darker and heavier as we begin this year of 2026. Not really seeming to get a break or starting from something somewhat resembling a fresh start or a straight off the path that we seem to be on in 2025. When I first started guest preaching as a seminarian, I was told that a good sermon would comfort the uncomfortable and discomfort the comfortable. Today, I think I'd like to lean more towards comforting service, with all the things going on in our world, and the fact that it is 7 degrees outside, which is cold for my Texas bones. I would like to share stories of growing up at First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin. This is an effort to make myself a case study and to delight all in amazing Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin, also known as UUCCN, in Austin, Texas, when I was 10 years old. My adopted father had had me baby for many years before this, and I had many questions about the world, my faith, what I believed, and other things that he thought would be best in the church. This is how I got out of that church nearly 2 decades ago, with Reverend House as my minister and Reverend Chris as our assistant minister. I remember one of the first services I ever went to. There was an adult facial hair and hands-on tutu, but also had amazing lipstick, delicately lined on their lips, and they were very enthusiastically singing along to the hymns. I remember feeling so much joy and comfort from seeing this person in the front pews of the service and how embraced their presence was in this service. I also noted that I could take my shoes off in this service, and that was important to me. Before this, I had only ever really been in a mix of Methodist and Catholic services, which carry their own unique vibes and are not very UU. As I got older, I began to get involved in the middle school youth group, as well as going through the 8th grade Our Whole Lives class, where I met one of my 5 lifelong UU friends, who I didn't grow up with. I'd come to services, I'd go to youth group, and I'd sit in this dining hall with the adults and the older generations of the church. My young self would sneak a little bit of coffee and smother half a bagel and strawberry cream cheese, a lot of it, and talk to the older generation. I would get lost in conversation, and I would enjoy the feeling of pride and like I appeared more mature than I actually was, as I talked about the day's service and about our lives with the older generation of my church. It's the same kind of pride I get when my mother would let me roll out the grocery cart by myself. In high school, I began to go to general assemblies, rallies, and other youth group events from surrounding congregations. I would go to pride events and religious education classes. I met my other 4 lifelong UU friends in the high school youth group. Many of us ended up preaching homilies together in our yearly youth-led bridging service, as well as graduating together. Those 4 and the 1 person I met in OWL, we still have this group chat, and we call each other from time to time, and we give each other life updates. One of them lives in New Zealand, and one of them lives in California, and 2 of them live in Austin, and I live in New York. And we all do very, very different things. This congregation raised me in every sense of the word of the quote, "It takes a village to raise a child." I would not be the person I am today without this congregation. There was a couple that lived on the next street over from my house that went to my church, I would often walk by their house and they would stand up from their position over their well-loved and tended garden and they would wave at me. There was a woman who became my godmother, and in later years I learned that she was the one who set up my adopted father and my mom on a blind date all those years ago. There was this one time that I was biking back from church and I flew over the handlebars and hit a curb and I injured my face and I had to go to the ER, but my parents were out of town and one of the congregants was driving their car behind me and noticed me, so they took me to the ER. The youth group director was married to someone who owned a coffee shop a couple of blocks down the road, who hired me, and I worked at their family's coffee shop for the latter part of my high school years. This job had given me the possibility of being able to apply for college and pay for high school exams. There was a cyclist who sold her 2001 Toyota Corolla to my family and give to me as a Christmas present. And another member who taught me how to fix the car, start it, replace tires, and change out fuses. I named this car Freddie, short for freedom, because I was able to do a ton of more things and take on a lot more responsibilities in high school now that I had a car. There was a person who let my family use their address to keep my siblings and I in the same school as each other due to a redistricting change. I then babysat for them for 10 years. The first people I ever came out to were the people in my high school youth group and OWL group. I went through profound family grief and loss throughout these years, my first big breakup, my college acceptances, some late night lock-ins, general assemblies, and many summer camps with the support of this congregation. In the last couple of years, I have guest preached at a lot of different Unitarian Universalist congregations. But some of my favorite things is that we always have some kind of coffee hour or social hour. There's always someone who comes in a little haphazardly and then beams and smiles upon seeing a fellow congregant, who I later learn is their friend of many years or someone they just welcomed as a new member of the congregation. I hear stories about how much a fellow congregant means to someone, often. I think that it is vital to talk about community because it is the very fabric that binds and supports us. In the context of our Unitarian Universalist faith, community is not just a group of people sharing space. It is an active commitment to caring for one another, celebrating joys together, supporting each other through difficulties. It is within the community that our lives intertwine, where we learn to see ourselves reflected in others, and where we find the strength to be who we truly are. Community teaches us empathy, and it challenges us to grow, and it reminds us that we are never alone on our journey. My childhood at the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Austin was not merely a phase of my life. It was the crucible where my identity was forged, a living testament to the transformative power of a caring and attentive community. The people around me, with their gestures of kindness, invaluable lessons, and unconditional acceptance, wove the safety net that allowed me to flourish. From the liberating spontaneity at the pulpit to the practical support during critical moments, this congregation embodied that spirit of just, it takes a village to raise a child. Today I carry with me the lessons learned and the bonds formed, a perpetual reminder that love and connection and mutual support are the pillars upon which we build meaningful lives. I hope that many of us can find and nurture those villages that uplift us, inspire us, and allow us to share our light with the world, despite it often feeling almost impossible to do post-COVID and in our current political state. Our UU tradition calls us to not only seek truth and justice, but also to act upon them. We live in a time marked by political polarization, where narratives of division and fear often aim to erode the very bonds that unite us. The rise of ideologies that dismantle empathy and promote us versus them, or they're wrong, or other things, represents a direct threat to the community we hold dear. Fascism, in its very manifestations, actively seeks to fracture trust, silence dissenting voices, and replace solidarity with forced conformity. In this context, I think we really need to examine how these movements directly impact the way we relate to them. Policies that dehumanize certain groups, incendiary rhetoric that fuels hatred, and the erosion of democratic institutions creates an environment of fear and insecurity that weakens our community ties. Communities, when threatened by these forces, become cautious and distrustful, and less capable of offering the support and acceptance that we all need. You've probably seen this happen in other communities. You may have even seen it in communities like this. In the face of these challenges, our response must be intentional and rooted in our values. And this is where I think community care and the power of joy as a form of resistance comes into play. Community care in its purest form is this act of recognizing our dependence and actively choosing to nurture and support one another. I think it's one of our first principles as well. It means going beyond more superficial interactions and committing to building deep and meaningful relationships. This can manifest in ways from organizing community meals and mutual aid groups to collectively advocate for policies that promote justice and equity. It could mean standing out on, I think it's Sunny Highway? Sunrise Highway. It can mean posting things on Facebook and tagging your friends. It's about creating a people within our community, a space where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. It acknowledges that one person's well-being is intrinsically linked to the well-being of all. And amidst the darkness and adversity that we are all seeing lately, joy becomes a radical act of resistance. Fascism and ideologies of hate thrive on despair and cynicism. Celebrating life, finding moments of genuine connection, sharing laughter, and keeping hope alive are acts of directly challenging those oppressive forces. Joy is not a denial of struggle, but an affirmation of our community and our ability to find light in the darkest of times. I know I have struggled with feeling joy in certain moments lately because there's just not that much to be joyful about sometimes, especially when you're looking at the news too much. And I want to say that the people in power know this, and they don't want you to feel that joy. But joy, it serves as a reminder that we are fighting to protect. This capacity to love and to create and to connect and to live fully. So let us recall the image of the person in church wearing their bright tutu and singing with enthusiasm. That was joy, an expression of being fully oneself, and it was received with acceptance. That simple image in my brain encapsulates the power of community to create a safe space for authenticity. As a community, we have the capacity and the responsibility to cultivate these spaces of care and joy. And we need to be intentional in building bridges, in practicing empathy and celebrating our differences as strengths. I beg of us, especially my generation, to resist the temptation of fear and cynicism, and instead actively choose some form of hope, some form of connection and love that is people around us who have got our back and want us to do well.
Yeah, let's switch it. Let's do the
Closing song, and we're also going to switch it. It's 1064, it's in the other hand. It's blue book color.
okay.
I'll vamp a little while you find it. Standing on these mountains and plains, far my landmark can say. I've been sailing all my life now. Never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue home. Some might say and moon my brother, as I fly the stormy sea, leaning over the edge in wonder, casting questions into the deep. I've drifted over ships, companions, all we kindred pilgrim souls, making our way through the lights of the heavens in our beautiful blue gold home. I give thanks to the waves are holding me, and all the great winds surging on. Break the infinite sea before me, sing the sky my sailor's song. I was born upon the fathoms, never harbor or port have I known. The wide universe is the ocean I travel, and the earth is my blue.
As we wrap up our service today, let us take a moment to reflect on the beauty of our friendship and our community work. Much like a football game, life is all about teamwork. I actually don't know too much about football. I was a soccer player, so hopefully I get these metaphors correct for our football fans in the room for today. We each have our unique roles. Whether we're the quarterback calling the plays, the wide receiver making those spectacular catches that I could never do, or the defensive linemen who hold the line and keep others on the team safe. Just like the Super Bowl, where every player on the team matters and every player on the field matters, our community thrives when we work together. Each of you contributes a vital part of our team, from lending a helping hand during tough times to celebrating each other's victories, no matter how small. And just like in football, there will be fumbles and miscommunications and unintended penalties, and that's all part of the game. It's how we rebound and come together afterwards that truly counts. So as we cheer on our favorite teams today, or you have no idea who's playing football at Bad Bunny's and Green Day's concert tonight, or you're doing something entirely not football related tonight, let's also celebrate the incredible team we have right here. Let's commit to passing the ball to one another, tackling challenges side by side, and scoring touchdowns in kindness and support. May our friendships be strong, our community work rewarding, and may we always find a reason to celebrate. Let us go out there on this playing field that is our lives and make some great plays this week. Also, I'm going to extinguish the flame.
Okay, so you know how I usually sing 3 lines that rhyme and then you all sing the 4th one? Yeah, I'm not going to do that because some things are more important than other things. I can't be singing louder than the lies when I'm gone. I can't be singing louder than the lies when I'm gone. I can't be singing louder than the lies when I'm gone. So I guess I have to do it while I'm here.
What do you want? do have.
Either way, I don't know which one you first, the table or the. Oh, yay! We were looking for it in the secret place, we couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's the one that returned that you might.
Wonderful, thank you. Managing in this freezing cold.
How's your meeting go this? How's your meeting go this? Had a meeting.
Oh, we did, pretty well, actually, we got, two people that joined the board. That's nice. Adam and Hope's sister.
Oh, yes, yay. Okay, good.
So, and I also, there's a woman who was a long-time member, Bill Jones. She was joining.